Hello everyone and welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're doing good and well. So it's time for another album review this weekend, and this time I'm talking about the fifth full-length studio album from the French new metal / goth metal band known as Elyose, and this is their release Évidence, which came out on Friday the 10th of January. It is a self-released album, and the album is 10 tracks and around about the 40-minute mark in length. So Elyose are made up of a duo. You've got singer Justine Dayé here, and apologies for any bad pronunciations. You've also got Anthony Chognard, who is the guitarist and producer of the album as well. So I'm brand new to this band, don't know much about them, and I have to say it was really quite a pleasant surprise because I'm not someone that normally naturally gravitates towards French singing in music. It's just not really my thing. But I thought they made the French singing work really, really well. At least vocalist Justine and the way she enunciates lots of her verses and choruses I thought worked really well and were very memorable for this record. And I also enjoyed the atmosphere a lot of the songs. The use of electronic textures and driving industrial groove I thought was also a really good, sort of created just a generally really good vibe. And if you like industrial metal, goth metal, new metal, I'd say bands like Spirit Box, Infected Rain, any of those kind of early 2000s new metal bands, or even Evanescence and that kind of thing, you're likely to quite dig this album, I think, as well. I do think that, like I say, they make the French singing, I think, work within this kind of music really, really effectively. And so let's go into some of the tracks on this record as well. So for me, I really enjoyed opener Mission Lunaire, which I thought demonstrated a lot of the strengths that this band have with the singing of Justine on display here, in the way she mixes up the verses and choruses. I thought worked really well in this song. You got some really good soaring electronic textures as well, and the use of the whammy effects I thought also worked quite well for this particular opening song. So a really good opening track to begin the album with. I also really liked, I think, what was the pre-release single called Theogene 2.0, which was kind of like this really heavy industrial song with a fantastic breakdown, which for me stood out as, for me, my favourite moment on this song. It's just very groovy, really heavy, reminiscent a little bit of like maybe Typo Negative or some of the other kind of early 2000s industrial metal bands in its style. It's kind of got a bit of a party feel to it in an industrial metal kind of way. I also want to shout out a couple of other songs that I really enjoyed on this record. Immuable, which was, I think, another single, and Justine, again, sounds great on this track. And this song really evokes memories of Evanescence's Fallen, and in particular, I think, Bring Me to Life. But it's performed very, very well, and obviously a difference is that this is sung in French, not like Bring Me to Life was sung, obviously, in English. But this is sung in French, and it still works extremely, extremely well. I also really liked the closing track on this one, Rise and Reclaim, which was the only song I think on this album that's actually sung in English. But you wouldn't notice the change in a way from French to English. I didn't really notice it, and I still thought the song worked immensely well. You still had some really good, I barely noticed the change in language, and that's maybe credit against the singer. But you had this kind of really cool driving keyboard line as well, and a great atmosphere to the track. And I thought it ended this album on a real high as well. So kind of, I love albums when they finish well and they finish on a good note, like I think this one did too. The only track on the album I actually didn't really buy into was Echo des Délices, I think it's called. And again, apologies for bad pronunciation, but I didn't really I felt this track was a bit too overcrowded with too many elements for me. And, whereas with other songs you can kind of hone in on one element particularly, I felt with this one it just felt like the balance of the song wasn't there as much. And just felt just too dense with too many things happening at the same time. That was the only song though that I think I really didn't enjoy on the album. The rest of the songs, most of them I thought were pretty good or really good, really excellent stuff. So overall, I'm feeling pretty positive about this one. I think this is an early surprise for 2025. Whilst I don't think this will necessarily be my album of the year, although it is very early days in the year, I do think this could be a contender for my year-end list when it comes to that in December. So I'd recommend this if you're looking for, albums which are, international metal albums, which you might not have heard the kind of album like this before. It's one to dig into, and I don't know too many French metal bands actually, so it's good to get to know another one. And Elyose, I would say, are really good bands. I think if you enjoy this kind of modern metal sounds, electronic, industrial stuff, and you, don't mind the French singing as well and all that kind of unique stuff going on, I think you'll dig this. I think you'll enjoy it. So I'm going to give this record an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it certainly more than I was expecting. I think this is an early surprise for 2025. So do go check it out and support the artist. They're an independent artist, I believe, so do support them. Maybe I think they've got a CD and things like that. So I'll drop a link into maybe the Bandcamp or to the band page rather, and go check out this band. So from me, until next time, hope you have a great rest of weekends, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time, bye for now.